I said that to their coach before one of the games. I'm like, I'll see you next weekend at your place." She was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it." Yes, it's nice to be playing someone else. Um, I think playing UIC really helped us though because they're physical. They play really hard. They get out in pressure. They press. It's kind of things that we struggle against at times. So they, definitely made us better.
You're playing a first time a league opponent, a new opponent. So maybe just touch on him a little bit, Robert Morris.
We play Robert Morris every year anyway in the non-conference schedule, so we're very familiar with them and what they do, and um, it's a big game for us because it's a rival, really a non-conference rival, but now an in-conference rival for us, and we recruit against them a lot, and so close to YSU, so it's a big game. There's players on our team that played high school basketball with players on their team and AAU together, and so there's a lot of familiarity.
Coach, how do you think handling UIC's pressure for the last four games will help you against Robert Morris? I know they're a good defensive team, so how will that help you this weekend and throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Robert Morris plays really hard. They play physical. They don't go up in full court press, but they definitely deny pressure in the half court, which is a lot of what the UIC did also. UIC was very physical in terms of bumping the cutters and in their denial they kind of hold, grab, that type of thing. And Robert Morris does a lot of that. So it was a big 4 game stretch for us to get better against that type of action. And Robert Morris is coming off a huge weekend sweep of Wright State, so their confidence will be very high. They're at home, so it's obviously big games for both programs.
You said Robert Morris is kind of the rival. Would you look at them more as a rival than Cleveland State? Or
No, not at this point. I mean, Cleveland State's just been in the conference so long, and they would be our biggest. But in the non-conference, we played since I've been here pretty much every year. We played Robert Morris, and it's been you know we win at home, they win at their place. We win at home, they win at their place. We win at their place, they win here. So it's kind of been a really hard fought battle team that we play against year in year out.
Coach, it seems like they've struggled offensively at times this year. Nobody averaging double figures, one of the lowest point totals in the league. What have you seen from them on the offensive side, and what type of challenges do they present?
Well, they're getting more comfortable. I mean, they were off, a lot of COVID stuff also. Castro's playing really well. Had a great weekend. Freshman of the week last week. Averaged double figure or averaged 20, I think, a game, and high number of rebounds. So they made a bunch of threes. I think they made 11 threes in their second game against Wright. So they're shooting it better, which makes everything better. When they scored 68, which I think their season high. And then they're holding teams to 61 points, which is a pretty good number. And they just play hard. And teams that play hard always seem to have a chance to win.
I know that you're 4 weeks in. You've been at home. You've been on the road. How would you kind of assess how things have gone with COVID and everything?
Well, the hard part was just coming off our quarantines, 2 weeks or 4 weeks of quarantine right into the season. I feel like you almost have to start over at that point to get your players readjusted to game speed, get them readjusted to, offensive flow and defensive, situations and where to be and all that stuff. So I feel like now that we're 8 games in, we got our game legs back. We're flowing way better offensively. Defensively, we're getting closer and closer to where we want to be in most situations. So I feel like finally we're getting back to mid-season form.
Coach, since game one, what would you say has been the biggest growth for your team? I know just getting your legs under you was the biggest focus, but where have you seen the biggest area of growth, and what do you want to see your team continue to improve upon moving forward?
I think playing together, making the unselfish play, making the extra pass, understanding that, I don't have to be the one to score all the time. I mean, we've got shoot 4 or 5 players, that can all score double figures at any time. And, to see the growth in NECA and also Malia Magestro, is huge because they're playing a lot of minutes. I think Maddie Alba is playing better and better every game and getting more comfortable out there. So I just think everyone's kind of settling into their role, knowing what their role is, settling into it. And, when each player knows their role and does it, it just makes your team that much more successful.
With that being said, is it easier now? Again, 4 weeks into it, playing the back-to-backs. I mean, before you were playing Thursday, Friday, two different opponents, so now, or Thursday, Saturday, excuse me, Friday, Sunday. Now it's back-to-back against one of them.
Yeah, I think all the players are getting used to it. The coaches are getting used to it. We're understanding the substituting situation a little better, and maybe not showing all of your cards in the first night if you can get away with it. And I think again that was another process that you had to get used to, and we didn't have the chance in non-conference to play games, or there was teams in non-conference that were playing back to back just to try to get used to what conference play was going to be like. So all of that is just we're getting more comfortable with it, and it's helping us on game days.